Mamoru Takamura influenced everyone in the Kamogawa gym. At the beginning, he was cheerful, always making jokes, supporting each gym member in his own way. He had a unique ability to keep everyone motivated, adapting his support to each personality. Especially with Ippo, who at first Takamura didn't even see as a real boxer, he eventually became like a little brother to him. During Ippo's second match against Sendo, Takamura desperately wanted Ippo to win, even pointing out that if Ippo wanted to become like him, he had to prove it in that match. When things got rough, Takamura stood up from his seat and screamed, something we had never seen before. "He's gonna kill you, Ippo! Stop letting him hit you like that!" And when Ippo won the match and became the Japanese champion, Takamura proudly said, "That's my boy." But this concern and affection slowly faded. Let's fast forward. After losing his chance to fight Miyata, Ippo lost his goal and became visibly demotivated. Still, he kept pushing forward to fulfill the dream Kamogawa had for him, reaching the top of the world. After his fights against Wally and Koji Maisato, Ippo started showing odd symptoms. He even fainted in the locker room. He couldn't support Umezawa as he usually did with his manga. And let's not forget the weight of never having fulfilled his promise to fight Miyata. Takamura began noticing all of this, perhaps even before Ippo did himself. Takamura began suspecting something was deeply wrong with Ippo and asked Sendo to spar with him. Sendo overwhelmed Ippo. When he reported back, Takamura asked plainly, "He's gotten weaker, hasn't he?" Sendo refused to accept it and told Takamura he must have just gotten stronger. Next came the fight against Alfredo Gonzalez, the world's number 2 boxer. If Ippo won, he'd get a world title shot. Interestingly, the commentators were Date Eiji and Mamoru Takamura. Takamura watched the fight with a cold, serious expression. He didn't react when Ippo was taking a brutal beating, very different from how he'd reacted in the past. We'd seen earlier that he was deeply worried about Ippo's lack of motivation and questionable health. And when Ippo got knocked out by a devastating right punch, one that left everyone horrified, including Kamogawa, Takamura didn't seem concerned. His eyes showed only anger. "Don't think like that. Don't feel like that. You still have me." What kind of reaction is that to seeing your younger brother brutalized in the ring? In the days after the match, Ippo admitted he was weaker. He knew why he lost. He lacked the will to win. He even told Takamura that it must have been obvious. Takamura knew it from the start. While watching the replay of the match and listening to the commentators, Ippo saw the truth and made no excuses. That's what hurt Kamogawa the most. Not just the defeat, but the fact that Ippo didn't make any excuses. After this, Takamura changed completely. He became colder, more furious. In chapter 1173 of the manga, we have the famous speech about the summit, the place where world-class fighters stand. He told Ippo that this summit isn't a lonely, miserable place, but something truly special. He then spoke of the line, the one a boxer must cross to reach the world, but only a monster can cross it. Takamura distanced himself from Ippo. It was his way of saying, "We're no longer the same. You lack ambition. You lack the will." Takamura built a wall between them. Time passed, and Ippo prepared for his return match. His opportunity came, a sparring session against a world-ranked boxer in a nearby weight class, Nagumo. But Ippo couldn't do anything. He kept falling. He couldn't dodge. He was hit by jabs that shouldn't have fazed him. Everyone praised Nagumo's level to justify what happened, but sometime after in the manga, the Ippo's rival, Ichiro Miyata, sparred with him and was shocked at Ippo's performance. Nagumo wasn't strong. Ippo was clearly not okay. After that spar, Kamogawa himself started to understand. In the gym's dark hallway, Takamura waited and said to the coach, "You've noticed, haven't you? He doesn't dodge, and he keeps falling." Kamogawa refused to acknowledge it and asked Takamura not to say anything, but Takamura did anyway. "Ippo is broken." Those words haunted the coach. He later admitted it to Yagi. Takamura had realized it long before he did. Even though Kamogawa expelled Ippo from the gym so he could rest, that recovery never really happened. Ippo kept training, lifting, and running. A month of rest was nothing. Later in the manga, it's explained that damage like Ippo's might heal, but only after 1 or 2 years of complete rest. 1 month was a joke. Even when Ippo was allowed back in the gym and seemed in shape, Takamura remained suspicious. Right before the Antonio Guevara fight, Takamura spoke mysteriously to Ippo, asking if he was ready to give it to the coach. Ippo didn't understand what he meant. The fight came. Ippo was frantic, obsessed. He wasn't trying to win. He wanted to show Kamigawa the complete Dempsey role, his way of expressing gratitude. He wanted to give Kamigawa everything, but that wasn't what Takamura wanted. Takamura just wanted Ippo to win, to get one last victory and then retire, giving their coach one last moment of joy. That's what he meant by giving it. Ippo's obsession led him to defeat. Kamigawa was deeply hurt. And Takamura? He became even colder, angrier, more monstrous. Shortly after, Takamura had a title defense. He was furious, disappointed, and told Kamigawa to watch only him, meaning that Ippo wouldn't return. He defeated his opponent with a single punch, like a monster. He carried enough determination for both himself and Ippo. But why did this affect Takamura so much? To understand, we must understand Takamura himself. He was rejected by his family and taken in by Kamigawa, who became a father to him. Boxing isn't just a sport to Takamura, it's the only place where he can be honest. The only way he can make his father figure proud. But no matter what Takamura does, he can't fulfill Kamigawa's dream. Kamigawa's goal was to forge a world champion with his own hands and introduce that boxer to his old love, Yuki. That moment sort of happened when Takamura won his first world title. Kamigawa visited Yuki's grave and offered Takamura's victory to her. But it wasn't enough. Takamura was always a natural talent. Kamigawa doesn't feel like he trained him into a champion. He sees Ippo as his true project, the one who could inherit his fists, his soul. Nekota confirmed this in the manga. That's why Takamura supported Ippo so fiercely, not just out of affection, but because he understood that Kamigawa's dream lived through Ippo. Watching Ippo fall into demotivation, health problems, and failure hurt Takamura deeply. He saw the man who raised him slowly lose hope, and no matter how many belts Takamura wins, he can't give Kamigawa what he truly wants. Takamura is alone. Not socially, he has friends. But on his path, he's completely isolated. He's pushing himself to the limit, probably sacrificing his own health, trying to fulfill a dream that isn't even his. But he can't do it, because Kamigawa doesn't need him. Kamigawa needs Ippo. And that's why Takamura feels so much rage, so much hate toward Ippo, because Ippo doesn't understand. He doesn't see that the coach is running out of time, that he might die without ever fulfilling his dream. And it'll be Ippo's fault. The foolish son, the foolish brother who couldn't see what was right in front of him. Takamura carries this burden alone, fighting like a monster, drowning in depression, because no matter how strong he is, he can't make his father's dream come true. That is the pain of the monster. Remember to subscribe for more Hajime no Ippo content, like, comment, and as always, good night, champ.